All right, and we are now live. I am Kara858, and today we're here for Rivenwood Academy Season 2, Episode 6. This has been a great journey so far. We thank you all for coming by and taking a look at the stream. As always, here at the Cookout, we love to give love and support to different individuals in the community, send out different channels out there, so perhaps you can take a look at their content and support them on their endeavors. So first, as always, we always love to give a huge shout out for is the Bear Pen. The Bear Pen is run by Adrian B, also known as Aries. He has a Twitch channel as well as a YouTube channel that has a variety of different content. You will see at shows such as Vampire the Masquerade. They just recently started a werewolf game. They have an upcoming D&D stream coming relatively soon, as well as a few one-shots that I believe should be coming up as well. A few of us here in this game is on their shows, as well as other individuals that you recognize as well. And so with that said, if you can, definitely go ahead and take a look at their content. Again, you can find them on the Bear Pen ending with an H. Second, you would like to give a huge shout out for is Hunter's Entertainment. Hunter's Entertainment is a variety TTRPG streamer that deals with horror as well as sci-fi. You'll see well-known individuals such as Melee Damage, Michelle Young. You'll see Cynthia Marie now as well. Alicia Pearl was just recently on there. Markia Bacardi. Louise, also known as Nines, that was coming through from LA by Night, is a fantastic TTRPG channel. And one of the individuals, one of the tech producers, Alex Redeye, who you see regularly in the Bear Pen, sends raids down after their shows. We always appreciate the love and support that they give. So if you can, definitely go ahead and give the Bear Pen a follow and support them on their endeavors. And last but certainly not least, we'd like to give a new shout out for. She's actually a player in one of our games. Her name is Super Dylan. Super Dylan is actually in Lords of Fame Room. You'll see her in a variety of different shows all across the internet. One of our players, Glyza, is actually currently featuring in one of her TTRPG shows dedicated to Coheed and Cambria. She's an excellent individual. You'll see her, of course, in Lords of Fame Room, as well as the upcoming show, Bonds Beyond Time. And so they're fantastic streamers. So if you can, definitely go ahead and give her a follow and support them on their endeavors. So those are all the shout outs that we have for today. Next, we're going to be talking about upcoming announcements. In terms of announcements, we have our upcoming show for next Monday, which is going to be Bonds Beyond Time, a Maze the Ascension campaign featuring Reed here as the storyteller. We've actually have some prequel episodes behind the scenes that you'll be able to gain access to shortly. But we'll be releasing the first episode of our arc exclusively on our YouTube channel. You'll see well-known individuals such as Sharif Jackson from Rivals of Waterdeep. You'll see, of course, Super Dylan. You will see Melee Damage. You will see Aki. Myself, like I said, of course, we'll definitely have some guests coming along as well for the ride. It should be a fantastic show. We're definitely excited to bring you all what we've been cooking, as well as we have a giveaway currently going on for our Twitter to celebrate our first episode, which you can definitely take a look at our Twitter, which is the Cookout TTRPGs. To take a look at that giveaway for a $20 gift certificate for Die Hard Dice. So yeah, take a look for that. You can take a look after the show if you like. Another one of our new shows that will be coming out is called Gods of Color, which is where I DM. This is going to be exclusive not exclusive, this is actually going to be for our YouTube as well as our Twitch. And it features a list of cast members who are demigods on the road to Ascension. We're currently filming our prequel episodes as we speak, and we'll definitely be releasing those as well as our first arc upcoming shortly. And you'll see, again, recognizable names such as Melee Damage, Cynthia Marie, the brand new Rose, Glyza, who I referenced to before. Rhea is also in that game, and quite a few different individuals. We have quite a few guest stars that will be coming along for this game as well. One was in the first episode, so I cannot wait to show you all that mystery. It's safe to say it blew the majority of players' minds when they saw who was revealed in that session. And that is just one of the many guests we have to come. I guess I'll keep that to the chest. I'll let that be revealed when it's time. With that said, those are all of our announcements that we have for today. So we're going to go ahead and bring you our intro video for episode 6 of Rivenwood Academy.
Micah. Ardris. Meaty. Calvin. Otis. Behold the spellbinding abilities of Rivenwood Academy.
All right, and we are now back. So with that said, Aaron, take it away. Oh, Aaron, you're muted. Uh-oh.
Oh, not Ellen.
Aaron, no.
We may have lost connectivity.
Oh no.
I shall be the DM now.
A Tarask shows up out of nowhere.
Of course that would happen. You're always talking about you all about to die. Oh man. So sorry, just wait these people 1 second, so she'll be returning shortly. Let's see.
All right, guys, I'm back. Hi.
Yay.
Sorry.
All right. All right. So
I was just about to get into tonight's episode of It's Our World. But,
Don't do this to me.
Throwback.
but since they're back, we'll just go with Rivenwood Academy.
Hashtag bring back It's Our World.
It's like Netflix?
All right.
Okay.
Are we ready to jump in then?
Oh yeah.
All right, Captain.
Excellent. You guys just broke through to a small clearing on the edge of a precipice.
Ooh,
Before
I didn't know
you
that
lies a vast range of craggy mountains and valleys made out of basalt and shale. It's kind of surprising because you just came from a forest, right? And in front of you, there is a lack of life, only sparse shrubs scattered across your view. But even that is kind of difficult to see right now because it is fully dark. It is after sunset. What little you can see is due to the light of the 2 moons in the sky. Both are just now waning from full, brightly shining on a clear and cloudless night. As you look at this valley, you don't see any signs of campfires or lanterns. As you're looking at how the path in front of you starts to wind down into this dark, rocky valley. The only other illumination beside the moons, in fact, is a very faint orangish glow far to the west and south on the horizon. Unless you fight your way back in, the path behind you is closed. You look around this small clearing and you can see small debris that must have been the campsite where this paladin party was that passed you heading back north. As the stars twinkle above you and the silence of a windless night blankets the valley, you can only hear just faint sounds of nocturnal animals, an occasional hoot of an owl or a howl from a wolf, very, very far away. What do you do?
If y'all recall, Otis tried to talk to those bushes. Didn't work.
There are no bushes here.
Oh, they're gone. Okay, we just
Well, there's like those brambles and like dead like roots and branches that were covering the end of that.
Yeah.
But like it's like there's forest behind you, but it's impenetrable because of this overgrowth. And the path, the exit to the path that you just kind of fought your way out of is fully overgrown. So if you want to try, you could go back that way, but you'd have to like fight your way back through it.
I would be loath to expend the rest of my gravity magic. I don't exactly know what we'll be encountering on our way. Perhaps we should continue forward.
Yes, we were aware that our trip was forward and it was inevitable, so going back is simply out of the picture permanently. Do you all need to stop and sleep now?
It's not late enough to be sleeping, is it?
If you press forward, you will start getting into exhaustion territory. It is like 10-ish, like to put it in our terms.
Well, it's definitely not the worst plan in the world. I mean, we have this overgrowth behind us, so hopefully we notice if anyone snuck on us that way. And, well, in front of us, there's simply wide open space. So...
Mary's gonna rub her eyes, just like I did, I guess. And so I could really use a nap now.
Right, well, let's begin setting up camp. Michael, will you join me to keep watch over the others?
Micah nods, looking at the others. Says, "Oh, okay."
counting on you, kid. I just sit on the ground.
I don't sleep. I'm good.
Hey, Micah.
Hmm?
You mind if I cast some magic on you once again? That way, if anything does try to sneak up on us in the night, you'll be ready.
I don't mind.
Okay. Kellen will cast one of his token spells as he sort of encircles Micah at a slight distance with hand motions, and slowly the form around Micah starts to waver until his movements, as subtle as they might be, begin to be traced with purple energy, and I cast Gift of Alacrity on him.
Ooh.
You still make it sound so cool.
I know, like the idea of like a before image, like not trailing, is just so cool. I love that spell.
So does Kellen. Which is why he utilizes it almost every chance he can get.
Thank you.
Oh, unfortunately, the food rations I've purchased for us aren't exactly palatable, by my standards at least, but they should be enough for us to get through the next few days.
Something to look forward to once we reach your home, I suppose.
Many things to look forward to.
Well, if you guys are hungry, I can feed you before bed.
You don't have food with you?
I got berries.
Berries aren't going to do a lot of this. They're little.
Rabbit, you have one berry, it'll keep you full for a whole day. Trust me, I know. And you still notice his appetite.
That's true.
I think I would like to try these berries.
Do they taste sweet?
I like them. Yeah, and Otis will cast Goodberry.
Nice. Completely underappreciated spell. I love it.
Oh yeah, it's one of the best. One of the best.
Kellen takes one as soon as possible because the efficiency of a berry they can feed you for an entire night is super intriguing to him.
Mary will just sniff it.
This is Kellen's introduction to culinary science. He's just
Oh,
like,
no.
all right. I am now going to
Otis,
become an
watch
enchanter
this.
of food.
I would not rule it out yet.
Otis watches Miri in almost like an excited, almost pleading stare, like he's trying to impress.
She'll like stick like just a little tongue out. Okay. I guess it. She'll eat it.
It should work just fine.
You're all
Here comes
poisoned.
curveball.
You're all
Guys.
poisoned. No,
That'd be
for
so
those of you who
tragic.
imbibe a good berry, it tastes really nice. It's a small snack, but it is like a sweet fruit with just a little bit of tartness. And you do not feel the need to take up Ardris on those trail rations.
If we have a good rest like this, Adris, we won't need to dig into those rations anytime soon.
I greatly thank you for that turn of events.
Yeah, you're not the only one that plans ahead around here.
Are
We
you,
should eat these more often. I like them.
do you mind
Otis is
if
going to
I,
grin, but he's going to hide it.
Ardris, do you mind if I cast the same spell upon you that as I did to Micah?
Sure, if you feel it would be useful.
I think we should be ready for anything, at least tonight while we're in new territory. And he'll repeat the same process with the same effect.
I'll say, while
Spending
all this is
so far.
happening, as it is so dark, Nazarath has kind of like drifted above, and you hear Luminari, and is providing general like light for you guys to do all of these activities, because those of you without dark vision, it's very, very dark.
Thank you, Nazareth. You're the best
Thank you.
bird ever.
You are the best.
Oh,
She really likes me, guys. My bird likes me.
I like you.
Otis is actually going to pull out the speech book he got from Jorhan and go, you want to read a book or something?
Read a book?
Otis
Sorry, that was
pulls out the
Aaron
book.
getting confused. Also Nazareth.
No, because remember, for the lessons for the speech class, you said Jorhan wrote a book and
Yes,
slipped it
yes,
to
yes,
Otis.
yes, yes.
No. I believe the DM was surprised that you're actually going to do some reading.
Otis asked. for
Oh.
it. Well, it's different because this is something Otis asked for.
Yeah.
So now he's like,
He's like, I'll learn what I'm interested in, all right? Fair enough. Interest is a good motivator for studies. You want to spend time, I'm just double checking like some logistics here. You want to spend time at 10 p.m. at night with no light source, like you're just going to use Azarath as like a lamp for your studies?
mm-hmm.
All right. How long do you want to read?
About an hour.
Make me a charisma check.
On it. Oh no, Aaron. All right. That's a total of 12.
You sit down and you study. Jorhan's handwriting is not the easiest to read. It looks like he kind of wrote this in a hurry. So it is not so easy to necessarily parse, but he's surprisingly pretty good at giving you the information. Yes, Cameron.
Wow.
May I
Yes.
offer to help Otis read the writing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I would like to assist his action by helping him with the handwriting. Because, in fairness, in a sense, I did agree to help him. So,
And in a
seems-
sense, you wrote the book, so in a
it
sense.
seems only fair that I should at least help decipher the handwriting.
Yeah. Sure. Roll that charisma check again. Oh, sorry, Mary.
Okay.
Do you have something you want to?
Can I action help distract Otis? She wants to see the book too.
Please, yes. Show me Show me how that looks. Just like, let me see if I would really like a little bit of like a 3-person role play game right now to see like rock, paper, scissors, who's gonna win this in a battle of wits. What do you do?
Well, as Otis starts reading the book, Miri will just look over. It's too dark to be reading. What are you reading?
Reading how to talk good.
You already talk good. You don't need that.
All right, I'll put Otis on tilt.
Mary, let us focus, or I'll build the nerd lamp again.
Your threats don't hurt me, Kellen. I'm not scared of you.
I don't know, Kelly.
Alright.
She says I talk good.
She isn't wrong.
But I think I could talk better. I don't know.
I also agree with you on that.
Are you insulting the way he talks? Do you have a problem with how people talk sometimes?
No, I think that just it's likely that anyone can improve.
Don't improve.
Nazareth, what you think about the book?
I don't know. I'm not
Miri,
scared.
Oh.
I can talk good.
Miri is gonna crawl over because I assume that they're sitting down now. She'll just like crawl over and just be like, "You can put the book away now. Your bird agrees."
Oh, no.
How do I resolve this? This is very, very interesting.
Mhm.
Nazareth is going to fly up off of your shoulder and over to Miri
Oh, boy.
and kind of like perch down on Miri's hands
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of looks at you a little bit inquisitively. I don't know how a bird makes a sound, but it did.
Otis is quickly glancing between the book and Nazareth and Mary. But not saying anything.
Kellen begins constructing the nerd lamp.
Miri would like to do that weird little thing that you do with birds where you just bounce up and down and they start doing it with
Oh, completely starts vibing with you. Yeah, absolutely. And it's really cool because like this is the first time you've gotten to see Nazareth up close. And so you can see like that flame, like flicker of flame in the eyes, and like the feathers kind of light up under its body inside of your hands as it's doing the little vibe thing. Because you were vibing with Nazareth, I'm going to say that, Kellen, your initial offer for help is successful because Miri's now distracted by the bird. Otis, go ahead and re-roll that charisma check since you have advantage.
No.
The nerd lamp is unstoppable.
I kid you not. Thank you, Zach. I have gotten a nat 20. For a total of 19. But I got a nat 20.
That is like the most excellent outcome possible. Natural 20, total of 19.
Yep.
He's -1 on charisma. What you want?
That is, oh wow, that is painfully accurate is what that is. Yeah, so like, I think maybe Otis kind of internalizes a little bit Miri's sort of like, oh, you don't like need to improve. And then you have Kellen there being like, oh no, like it kind of looks like this word, but that's actually trying to say the word confidence. Like, and like as like you kind of internalize Miri's praise, I think it becomes a little bit of a motivation for you. And with Kellen's help, you start to make significant progress. Go ahead and mark yourself down 2 successes.
Why, thank you. Speech class, 2 successes. Would you call it speech study? Or does it matter?
It does not matter. I will know and you will know what it is.
Okay. All right, I'm good on that front. And if that hour's passed, Otis would attempt to go to bed, for he does not know what's going to happen next, per se.
Yes, Miri. I gotta say, I'm really digging this like Zoom class like vibe you've brought to us.
We needed it.
As soon as I guess Miri at some point would have stopped bouncing and vibing with the bird, and has seen that Otis has decided to fall asleep.
Yeah, probably about the time Otis like finishes getting up and like go to sleep, like you've been undistracted for a little bit, and now you can just do whatever you want to.
It's like, oh hey, and just like we'll crawl after him again.
You hear like Azarath switches to your shoulder, and like right in your ear because of like the height thing, you hear, "Oh hey,
I know, right?
I know, right?
Exactly." And she will just kind of like sit right next to Otis and like, you didn't. What are you doing?
I'm assuming Otis hasn't made it to sleep yet.
You have not made it to sleep yet. You've gotten your bedroll out. You've kind of got it where you want. You're kind of doing that thing where you like shuffle in the sleeping bag until you finally get a semi-comfortable position. No, you're nowhere near sleep.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, you wouldn't have snuck up on Otis either. So you're like, I'm trying to sleep, Rabbit.
Why? I just have a lot of energy right now.
Well, what you want me to do about it? You got the bird.
But I can't bounce with her the whole time.
I don't know. And they're like, well, I didn't. Azarath didn't like to dance, but I guess Nadine likes to dance. Maybe. I've never seen Azarath dance before, but I guess Nazarath likes to dance. I've never seen her do that before.
Well, dance with us. She'll just do more.
Nazareth does the bird thing again, where she's like hopping along the floor, but like this time she goes a little bit and turns around and does it back, and then turns around and does it again. So like just kind of making like this back and forth pattern of hops.
Otis is actually going to do something a little different.
Oh,
he's going to go, I'll do what and catch himself, remembering his studies. They're like, I'd rather not, Rabbit. It seems, hey, Keller, what's the word?
Sorry, I was sleeping.
Must be nice. I was trying to tell Rabbit in that fancy way I don't want to dance or whatever.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay.
And then he points to the bird, and then he points to Nazareth, like, well, this one knows why I don't do the dancing thing.
Don't do the dance. No, thank you.
Okay. I'll go back to my bed roll now. Maybe we'll go back.
I mean, I don't want to be a DM, but I would say a perception check would serve Miri, depending on what Miri's going for.
Miri, are you wanting to know more about what's going on?
Well, on site with Otis, yes. Because he'd be trying to hide what it is, but there's definitely something different to him.
She probably would be like, well, that's not the Otis that I know.
Oh no! If you recall, you've never seen Otis dance. You've never seen him mingle. You've never seen him party. Never seen
Mary likes to dance. She wants to know why.
Roll insight real quick.
All right. Okay. I got a 13, but plus my 8. 21.
Oh, geez.
You know, that was a dramatic difference in like the range of information you were gonna get. It was gonna be like, well, some people just don't like to dance. Like, what do you want?
No, Miri's like deep into this man's psyche right now.
Miri turns as she's getting ready to leave, and her eyes just pierce through your soul. Tell me, what emotional content does she get? Give me like three emotion words.
All right, emotion-wise, you can tell Otis is obviously uncomfortable, but deeper than that, you can tell it seems to trouble him to the degree where it's borderline terror or an underlying terror. It seems like something that he adamantly wants to avoid.
So he looked pretty uncomfortable, and the more that you pressed, like, you get this feeling of like there's actual fear there. It's not like a
Okay.
There's more to it than being a wallflower.
Yeah. All right. She'll just say, "It's all right if you don't want to. Not right now."
Well, you hear Otis actually say, "Thanks, Rabbit."
Thanks, Rabbit.
Only Otis gets to call me that.
Only Otis. Thank you.
She can do what she wants.
No, thank you.
Well, fine.
Cool. I'm gonna assume that this ends up being that everyone goes to sleep. Except
one quick thing first.
Yeah, hit me.
Kellen will go over to Miri and ask if she would like to dance.
You dance, Kellen?
And he'll like pause for a second, and then he'll be like, "You can say no. I won't be offended."
I never begged you to want to dance, but once. That's it.
Okay.
I love this reversal from like desperately wanting the dance to be like, I suppose if you require it, I will break myself.
Since you're forcing me to.
Aaron, I know me and Naz
athletics for both of you. I just want to see how good of dancers you are. If you could both just roll me an athletics check real quick.
I don't get to roll performance.
I also. Are you performing? Let me ask you. Are you performing?
Oh, now I gotta think about that.
I also love the idea, like, it's all just, what is it called? Diegetic sound. Like, all you hear are, like, the awkward, like, foot shuffles and stuff. There's no music playing. There's no, like, background score for what you're doing here. You're just dancing in a dark nowhere. It's not even a campfire. It's not even a campfire. You're just chilling.
Audrey will cast a minor illusion to create a very a musical underscore for them.
You've had minor illusion this entire time.
He uses it surprisingly regularly.
Yeah. All right. If there's music, she'll try and do her best.
I love the idea that this music could be like the most popular of the elven like nobility.
100%. It's definitely like elvish high society music. It's 100%.
That hoity-toity music.
We're dancing in the middle of like a decaying forest on open mountains to like elvish cotillion music. Like,
Miri, did you decide? Are we performing right
there's
now?
music now. She's going ham.
Okay, go ahead.
Helen rolled a 13.
Oh, not bad.
13? Okay.
That road dexterity, huh?
25.
Oof.
Works.
Wow.
It's that circus life. That circus
She
life.
has a plus 11 to her performance, may I say.
Cool.
Now would be the time where you dab on the haters if you're.
So I think that, like, weirdly enough, like, Miri has kind of thrown herself into we're in a weird place, and I'm just gonna like double down on being myself. You know what I mean? Double down on what I've done before. It's kind of working. Like all of you feel as you're watching Miri, like it's so bizarre to see like this circus background rabbit folk tearing it up to elvish like court music. She is. And like weirdly enough, like she's able to use what Kellen is doing, and it looks like they're intending to do this together. Like it ends up looking really nice. And I will say, as a result, all of you are gonna get a little bit of a bonus tomorrow when you wake up.
Oh my!
You will have slept really well.
Excellent.
Why? Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
would like to add one final scene to one final thing to that scene. Kellen will try to whisper something to Miri at the end if she will allow him to.
Sure.
He whispers, "I don't dance, but I do take care of my friends. Someone once told me that I needed to do a better job of it, and we could all use a little bit of comfort right now." And then he'll bow.
Smooth.
That's growth
A+.
right there.
Does
Mary will
Nazareth
actually
hear
hug
that, though?
him. Mary will actually hug him.
He hugs her back.
Oh, I'm so proud.
Took like 10 episodes. It took like 10 episodes.
Yeah, we have been arcing to that moment right there for like straight up 10 episodes.
Yeah.
I kind of needed it.
Was beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it.
How strong is their bond, Nazareth and Otis? I'm just asking, Eric. In lieu of what has just happened.
So if you choose to, what was summon is now like activate basically. So Nazareth needs to be within 30 feet of you in order to activate kind of the wildfire spirit portion to do what would normally be covered under that for the enhanced bond. But because of the increased intelligence and Nazareth's general love of you, you can ask them to do simple things, but once they get outside of that 30-foot radius, you no longer activate, and I'll just make them do whatever birds do.
Oh, not battle stat wise, but character wise. Since Azrath's history with Otis, does the bond mean that they're bonded on the level of emotion?
I don't think it's necessarily like Nazareth feels your emotions. I think it's more like Nazareth just knows you really well. So is very in tune with what you're broadcasting. So like if you weren't able to see each other, Nazareth wouldn't have that that context. But if Nazareth's able to see you, like they're pretty well understand what you're feeling. I think at this point, Nazareth does kind of like nuzzle up on your shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, kind of just lays their head against your cheek a little bit.
Otis will probably
You are the
snuggle into
best.
Nazareth too.
You are the best.
No, you're the best.
You're the best.
That'll probably be it. He probably
Yeah.
drift off to sleep.
Cool. So if I understand watch correctly, Mike is taking all of the watch.
Love you, sweet
Also
baby.
taking the watch as
Just
well.
double
Be
checking.
watching us.
Audrey
Yes.
is also doing the watch.
Well, you've got 4 hours that you're not trancing for sure.
Yes, if I recall correctly, let me double check. Yeah, so he would just so he would basically he would rest. He would do that whole 8, do 4 half of it, and then let Micah rest, and then he would do the other part for his 4 hours. I think Micah says do something for 4 hours. I think.
Well, so he doesn't sleep. He just has to stay still. That's it. As long as they stay still, they're good, but they still are able to look at things, perceive things like this. So that's why they say they don't technically sleep. They just have to be what's considered motionless per se. Kind of like a robot that's just chilling in a sleep mode, but just still awake.
A robot
Well,
that's just
So
chilling.
you
My
can do light.
understanding though is good.
You can do light activities, but watch is different. Because watch requires like intentional like looking around. Unless what you're saying is basically I will be vaguely conscious to be aware of anything that happens directly in front of me. You know what I mean? Like if you're not keeping watch, if you're just like hanging out, that's cool. That works. But if you're wanting to actively keep watch and like be aware of your surroundings more, that's not something you can do, and also have that kind of power down time.
Okay.
You can do light activities, like, because it is similar to trancing. Like trancing, you can do light activities. You can't take a watch on trance.
Okay. But yeah, so then I'll just do the 4 hours.
Okay, so who's going first?
I'll go first. Let's see here.
I will need 2 perception checks, please.
Yeah. Okay, well, the first roll is a 19, so that'd be a 26? 25. Okay. Second roll. Ugh. Second roll was a 12.
Okay.
Oh, wait, what is that gift of alacrity you do again?
Initiative.
It's for
boost.
initiative rolls.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it adds 1d8 to initiative. So, like, if something were to, if we were to end up getting in combat, you'd roll a bonus on your initiative check.
Gotcha. Okay.
So as the party begins to eventually drift off one by one, you're kind of left alone with your thoughts, looking out on this very dark scene. Micah does not have dark vision. That's correct?
No, they do have dark vision.
They do. Okay. So the scene in front of you is not as difficult to parse as it is for a lot of the other people in the party, but you can see in grayscale around you. For the first part of your watch, as you're looking, it's interesting just how much you don't see here, because you just came through a forest, and before that, like, the town, it was pretty bustling. You saw lots of animal life, you saw lots of bird life, lots of signs of like travel, lots of plants. In front of you, there's just really nothing. It's pretty intense, I would say. It's a biome that Micah has never been in, maybe. At least, like, I mean, since your time at Rivenwood Academy, like, you've stuck to Rivenwood Academy, which
Mm-hmm.
you're like, you know, you're used to the ocean, you're used to like kind of these high plains and like forested areas. This is brand new. Something about it, I think, is a little bit not unsettling, but you know, the discomfort of something that is entirely new to you. I think that first part of your watch, you're so certain you haven't seen anything, but you're a little bit jumpy about it as you get into the second part, and you're starting to realize, like, you wouldn't know what you were looking at if something was brand new. This is something you don't have experience with. And I think it just kind of like, you get a little bit preoccupied on the second half of your watch as like the enormity of being an 8-year-old by yourself on watch in the middle of the night in an unfamiliar surroundings after having fought your way out of a forest hits you all at once. And you're just, it's unsettling. And I think that it kind of triggers a cascade of all of the other things in your life that are very uncomfortable right now. Your missing mom, your exploded like school, like all of those things together. By the time that Ardris, you know, comes out of trance, I think Micah's worked himself up a little bit into like this deep feeling of discomfort and unease.
So I think when Micah, when they discover this aspect, they head over to Ardris. And when they realize that it's their time to shift, they're like, Have you been out here like this before?
Are you referring to in the forest alone, or roughing it, as some people say?
That alone forests, different forests. This, and he'll point to the entire environment around.
No, I have not.
Did your father t- talk tell you about this or this type of things that could happen?
He told me stories about the outside world naturally, but unfortunately, nothing serious for this. To be honest, I spent most of my time at home surrounded by gods or teachers and professors or students. I've never particularly wanted for anything or needed anything. Just partially why I am at or was at the academy in the first place.
Does this feel normal to you?
Certainly not. Though I think your normal and my normal are vastly different. Is something bothering you?
Maybe. They're emotion, right? I don't like emotion.
Yes, emotions can be difficult to understand or control, but they are very important.
Why?
Your emotions, they are part of what makes you who you are. If you were to not have them, there'd be missing a fundamental part of being alive.
But I normally... That's a bigger word. Wow. Oh, what's a smaller word for normal? I
Often? Usually.
often, yeah. I often don't have emotions. It's not normal for me.
It may be true, but then you feel them now, don't you? And then I will give you the same message that was given to me before I began my journey to meet you all. You, even more so than the rest of us, are a unique being, a unique person, and a prodigy, so to speak. Which is why it is even more important that you continue your growth, your evolution. So gaining your emotions are your trial, your growth.
I'm supposed to have it?
You are?
Oh. But mother doesn't have them, does she?
Of course she does. Some of us grow capable of hiding our feelings or suppressing them, or some of us even ignore them over time, but we all have them. Your emotions is that little voice in the back of your head that reminds you to take care of the people you care about. It's the fear before you rush forward to do something reckless, and it is the love that guides you to do goodness in the world.
So, if I want to see mother, that's emotion?
Yes?
Oh. Forward. I think at that note, you kind of see like his third eye kind of like open for a little bit and then closes back shut. Thank you.
Of course. You should get some rest now, though. That is enough pondering the realities of the world for one evening, don't you think?
I guess it's just different. I liked having no emotions, but I like wanting to see my mom. So I'm confused. I will try to sleep.
Some rest. More truths will be revealed to all of us as we continue our journey. It'll be a very difficult one, I imagine.
Thank you. Be careful.
I will, I assure you.
And so with that, I'm pretty sure that they don't really go too much further. You just see them just like go pretty much still. They just look around, but they're pretty much still.
Good. This is too good. All right, Argis, as you take over watch, go ahead and give me 2 perception checks.
Sure.
Good brother Elf.
Dirty 20 for the first one and 11 for the second.
As you get started and you get settled, I think that you're probably a little bit more confident just because you have more experience. This is a new biome for you as well. I don't think that you've been to the Gregan Empire. Most of the travel that would be done from your home nation to the Tulisi Dynasty would have been further south and then up through Dulendorn. But as you sit there for your first one, I think that instead of like this kind of unease that Mike was feeling, you get more of like a general kind of curiosity. So you spend some time like really kind of looking in the vicinity at kind of the rock formations. So you see that like as the path winds down from this precipice, it is pretty steep in sections, very, very rocky. Like I said, there's some petrified trees and some small scrub brush. Other than that, there's not a lot of vegetation. Because you would imagine because of the festival, it hasn't been traveled much recently. And you don't see any signs other than like the paladin party that you passed on the way here. You don't see any signs of anyone else who's been by recently. And I think that kind of settles Argus a little bit more. As you get into the second stage of your watch, it becomes a lot more difficult because around 4 a.m., the clouds gather and it starts to rain. And it is pretty cold. So you see like all of the people who are on the ground sleeping are beginning to kind of shiver as the cold hits and the rain starts to drench everyone.
I would like to ritually cast Vine Trestle.
Ooh, that good old standby. Absolutely. You do so. I imagine you're making like a little awning or something.
Yeah, very much like that kind of, movie ownership that we can't say on the internet. Just do like a big like plant to
cool.
protect.
Absolutely. That's too cool not to do. Fantastic. Yeah, and kind of as you do that, you get this weird like, sitting under the tree waiting for enlightenment kind of look. But as you peer out on the darkness, and slowly the sky does start to lighten, but because of the cloud cover, it is a gray on gray on gray kind of day. Gray in the skies, gray rocks and mountains in front of you. As everyone begins to come to consciousness, congratulations on your long rest.
Woohoo.
It is raining now. Like full stop raining. It's fairly heavy and it's a lot cold. And Nazareth keeps doing that like little like shaky thing where like, birds are trying to like floof their feathers a bit because of it. Like keep stopping to do that.
So that is what is inconveniencing us. Mm-hmm. On the other side of the coin, what benefit did we get from the party's dancing last night.
You did not gain a level because you danced. I love you so much, but it's not a level because you danced.
Kellen, we have to dance again. Come on, man.
I didn't say anything about it. I didn't say anything about a level. You're the one who mentioned a level. While we're on it, I'm sure the viewers are wondering when the rest of us will be able to have a level. I mean,
I promise you, it is right around the corner.
Okay, Kellen peeks around the corner. No, I'm just kidding. But again, it's not a level. But you said that something would happen. What happens?
Oh yeah. For today, everyone has advantage on dexterity checks and saving throws,
Ooh,
as you
awesome.
all got a very good night's rest due to kind of the relaxing, and also because of Ardris's help with keeping the rain off of you during watch. You did all get a very good rest.
Excellent.
While it is raining, Ardris will take out of his bag one of his last sets of impressive noble clothes, and I will use his pocket knife to begin to kind of cut it up into makeshift. What is the thing that you put on ponchos? Makeshift rain hat things.
Rain hat things. I think you
I don't
can.
know what it's called, but it's a thing.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you mean.
I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
It's that thing.
Yeah, you can make a rain poncho, sure. I mean, it's cloth on cloth, so it succeeds in preventing you from getting wet for the first bit, and then it gets wet enough that you're wet underneath it. But for the first bit, it works really well.
It's fine cloth, okay? It is.
Oh, do you wear waterproof clothing everywhere you go?
This is elven, high quality, moisture wicking athletic clothing. Okay.
Part of the elven court is everyone throwing wine at each other and being like, "See, it doesn't stain. It doesn't stain. It can't stick to me."
That is those dirty wood elves that are always throwing wine around.
Oh my goodness.
No,
All
I'm
right.
playing.
So we're all up. We're all ready. We all have advantage on dexterity checks and saving throws.
Mary feels like a
Anything
wet
you would
rabbit.
like to do?
I cast Mage Armor.
Otis is to do a check on his best friend.
Does Mage Armor actually assist in keeping the rain off?
Does it? Ooh, that's a good question.
A protective magical force surrounds it until the spell ends.
I mean, yeah. Why not? Why not? Mage armor makes you waterproof. Why not?
Okay.
I will switch out some spells and mainly some cantrips. And I will be adding a prestidigitation to my list for the day. And then I will prestidigitate everybody else every so often so they aren't too
Wait, can you
He's just
swap?
wandering around
Can you swap cantrips? I thought those were just things that you had.
They used to be, but with Tasha's we can switch it. It was the Wizards new class.
Oh, that's wild.
Ooh.
Wizards don't need. Okay,
That is
We
wild.
can do one though. We can only do one per.
Wizards are irrelevant now.
That is good to know. You've taught me something important.
Get good. Good.
Anything else that we're going to do as we kind of break camp? No campfire, nothing really to pick up, but there's a nice little vine trestle around you.
Mary's cold, so I have everybody who thinks they're the warmest.
Man, Otis is real thin, so you ain't gonna get much.
I am going to swap a couple spells.
Yeah,
I
man.
will cast Firebolt on Amir's feet every so often.
I feel like she's like, I'm cold, and then Arjus just shoots the firebolt at her.
I love the idea that you're like, who's the warmest? And literally everyone starts whistling and looking anywhere but Miri. Not me.
I mean, Otis can technically. I mean, it's not enough heat. Never mind. I was thinking about prestidigitation. It's not going to generate enough heat.
No, but he has a cloak or something.
I have swapped out Featherfall for Gift of Alacrity.
Ah, I see.
This is one time I would actually wish for a druid fire cantrip. This is crazy.
No, but there's a clock.
Nazareth is
I
going
don't
to
have it.
come over to
Wait a
you
minute.
and it kind of does. She starts to say, Luminari, and then stops and is like, looks very confused. And then you see like her feathers ruffle, and as they do, instead of casting light underneath, it looks like there's fire feathers woven into like her coat. What do you call what birds have? I don't know.
We're down. Yeah.
Sure, her down. Nazareth was pretty warm.
Oh.
And then he's gonna be like, must be nice.
Well, you want to share it? I mean, we could walk together. She's right there.
Nazareth just starts like going over to Otis's shoulder, sitting there for a little bit, going over to Miri's shoulder, sitting there for a little bit, like just back and forth.
Well, gee, we can stand close if you want us to. I mean, maybe.
Stand closer. I want you to.
This bird is smooth. Okay. Otis is definitely gonna be trepidatious about it. He's gonna like kind of inch his way toward me.
Nazareth just kind of like picks at like the shoulder of your shirt or your jacket with
I'm
their
coming,
feet
okay?
to like kind of pull you along. Stand closer.
Actual wingman right now.
Smooth criminal. Okay, all right.
She out here.
Oh, I will cast prestidigitation on my clothing to make it warm.
Should
That
I walk in the
lasts for a
huddle
minute.
pile?
For 1 minute, you have warm clothing. Warm, wet clothing.
Oof.
Ooh.
That's like hot,
I will
hot,
cast
wet socks.
prestidigitation to make it. I will cast prestidigitation to make the clothes not wet, and then use mage armor to protect me from the rain.
Oh yeah, I have mage armor as well.
I love the idea that it's like, okay, order of operations. Let me get myself semi-dry, mage armor up, now prestidigitation again for warmth. Like,
I'm comfortable.
beautiful. Hacking the system, wizards. Love it.
It lasts for an hour.
Well, at least Otis's
Yo,
tree
I'm
is getting watered.
I'm comfortable, Doug. I'm traveling in comfort, Doug. I know.
You plebes might be walking around wet and cold. Oh, good. All right. So I assume we're going to start heading forward.
That's what I'd like to do.
What is your marching order?
I mean, Otis is obviously going to be with Miri.
I'll just be in the front to lead the young people.
Okay.
Mm. Mhm.
I think Micah's normally in the middle, so I think they're probably in the middle.
Does Kellen want to be before or after Miri and Otis?
That's
Yeah,
a scary question.
He doesn't care either way.
Mm. Mm. All right, Miri and Otis in the back. There,
Nice.
or the
All
side.
right. So it's going to go Ardris, Kellen, Micah, Miri, Otis.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yep.
As you begin.
I think actually, I think Kellen would prefer Ardris, Micah, Kellen, the two of them, if possible.
Oh, I think
Ardris, Micah, Kellen,
Okay.
Miri, Otis.
Yeah, so just swap Micah and Kellen, just because he wants to be able to see Micah if he can.
Can do. All right. As you begin to head forward, as I described for our Night Watch people, the path comes off of this precipice in a fairly steep incline at first. It's very gravelly and rocky as you're coming through here, and it seems to be winding down from kind of like the plateau that you're on into this valley, and ahead of you is another large mountain, and you can see a path vaguely in the distance on that side. So you imagine you're probably going to end up heading that way, but it's a very circuitous kind of route that follows like animal trails that were here first, basically. definitely could not get a cart through here or a wagon. This is like a walking and trekking kind of trail from here. As you begin to go, Ardris, could you please roll me a d6?
And then,
I'll take a d6 and... Oh, go ahead. A 1.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll resolve that one first. So you're going for a little while, and you get to a section of the path that you don't realize just how steep it is until you step on it. It's covered in loose gravel that the rain has now made slick. I'm going to need an athletics check, please, from the party.
Oh boy.
It's kind of one of those things where when one person starts like the slide, the whole area is destabilized a little bit.
Yeah.
Athletics, you said?
Athletics.
Really?
I do acrobatics after.
Yeah, actually, I give you all advantage on dex checks. You can make this acrobatics if you'd like.
Okay, good. I can roll another d20.
Okay.
18 for Ardris.
Thanks.
That's a 12 for Otis.
Okay.
Also, it's 12 for me.
Okay.
19 for Kellen.
Ooh.
16 for Micah.
What is happening?
Okay, so the wizards, I guess, like, do fine. In fact, oddly enough, okay, here's what I think happens, actually, now that I think about it. Ardris starts to slip and is like, oh, not cool, and, like, kind of, like, plants a hand on to stabilize it. He turns and tells Micah and Kellen, who both are like, okay, no problem. They find ways to anchor themselves. They're moving cautiously. And then Miri and Otis, who are not paying attention, don't realize that the rest of the party has kind of moved from this area and just blindly walk into it and slip. And as you do, you end up sliding like 50 feet down this like steep incline. Both of you are going to take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you...
And I feather fall them as a reaction to negate the damage.
I mean, it's
Not necessarily a falling.
It's not really a fall.
I would argue, like, they're taking fall damage though, right? I would argue it like slows their descent a bit so that when they land lighter on their feet, which is part of feather fall.
I'll allow it.
I've cast the spell. I've expended the spell slot. Now it is up to you.
No, I'll allow it. I mean, I think it makes sense that like falling horizontally and falling diagonally are mostly the same kind of pain in the end.
So can I say how he casts it?
Please do.
He pulls out a feather from his small material components pouch, throws it into the air, and you watch as it starts burning from one end and burns itself out, consuming the component as they slow.
So cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so you don't realize what's going on. Kellen reacts extremely fast. And suddenly you find yourself like, it's almost like surfing. Like you're still falling, but it's slow enough that it's kind of cool. And you end up at the bottom and you do not take those 5 points of bludgeoning damage. For the rest of you, you scored high enough on your check that you're able to pick your way down, kind of test different areas and make it without further sliding or falling.
Mary has a death grip on Otis right now.
Otis does not know what to do with himself. If anything, he is more distracted.
She just fell down 50 feet, man.
Nazareth's just making loops now.
Terrified.
Nazareth goes chills with Kellen for a little bit.
Just will cast Prestidigitation on Miri and Otis to clean them up.
I mean, Otis says it. If I can handle myself, thank you.
The party that prestidigitates together stays together.
Well, for the future, perhaps we should pay just a little bit more attention at going.
I'll do it.
We both do what we want.
Otis points at Miri. This is so terrible.
Wow. The dynamics have gotten great. As you do kind of dust yourself off and Argus prestidigitates you and you're ready to move forward, is there anything you want to do before you start trekking again?
Ooh. Otis is going to try. Aaron, may I roll a charisma D20 for myself?
What are you trying to accomplish?
He is trying to compliment Miri on the dancing from last night.
Compliment first, and then I'll tell you if you roll with advantage or not. Unless
Whoa. I think Miri tells him whether or not he rolls with advantage.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll see how Miri reacts. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be so bad.
Wait on.
Rabbit.
Do it.
Well, he's tried.
Aw.
The dancing you did, I liked it, I think. Yeah. I liked what you did with the dancing, not just that at the thing, festival or whatever, on stage, sword fighting somebody like that too. It's -1 charisma.
I'll be honest. I don't think you need to roll anything right now.
Okay.
I think Miri can choose for herself how she's responding to that compliment.
Okay. So Mary looks confused. It's just like, yeah, get out your words. She's like that.
He said that would be the extent of it.
I absolutely love that, like, you guys have just slid down this little incline. Everyone's back together. Argus has just finished prestidigitating you. And Os is like, right now is the time. Burdens his heart. Miri's like, And then you just look around and Micah, Otis, Kellen, and Azarath are all just like literally 5 feet away watching this happen.
-1 charisma.
Oh. Miri will just nod. Thank you, Otis. It's very kind of you.
Otis was going to pull his hat further over his head.
Hey,
Adorable.
DM, I'm gonna send you something real quick.
Please do.
Oh no!
Secrets have begun.
Zoom. You do it on Zoom.
You'll have to tell me if I can roll on a deception for this.
Okay.
It's gonna be
While you
juicy.
type, can I get Micah? Can I please get a? You can choose perception or nature.
Perception.
There you go.
Okay, that works. 22.
22, not bad.
Nice.
You're not sure if it is kind of your unease with what's going on or whatever, but you do. I mean, you don't see anyone around. You don't see signs of anyone around. But like, you just can't stop looking.
Look.
Like, you're not compelled or something. Like, it's not like there's a magical effect forcing you to look, but like, there's something just like, it's something bothering you. You put it on Discord. 1 second. Oh, it's adorable. Weirdly enough, I'm gonna say sleight of hand.
Okay. Works for me. Let's see. It's a 14.
So, Otis, you're kind of covering your face. I don't think you see it at all.
Mm-hmm.
For the rest of you, you notice that like Miri's ears start to come down and kind of cover her face a little bit. And it's not particularly subtle that she's trying to like hide her face with her ears. It's very obvious. It's very obvious. That's what you get out of it though. Awesome.
Like a
That's
movie.
adorable.
Moving.
I gotta say.
I'm gonna try and keep us going just a little bit.
Understood.
Let's see. Kellen, you're next in line. Can I get a D6, please?
I mean, you can. Two.
2. Good timing. All right, so you continue to move forward. The path kind of evens out just a little bit in this area, so you're not having to try and slide around. It is again quite wet. The rain has not let up yet as you've been traveling, but you get to a section where there's like mountain on both sides, and there is a fallen boulder that is blocking the path.
Oh boy.
It's rather large. It does not look like one individual could move it.
You all know what this calls for.
I'll just
Gravity.
move out of the way.
Oh,
Pulse
roll
wave.
roll something for me. I don't think you have to roll to hit. Just roll damage for me.
That I can do.
I feel like it's vulnerable to waves of pulse.
To be fair, I feel like
So that
everything is vulnerable to that, you know what I mean?
Hard bit of material, you know.
11 and 9 makes 20 damage.
Very nice. Very nice. So this is a large boulder, and as it hits, you do watch as it starts to like crack into smaller but still pretty large pieces. So it's you've definitely done quite a bit of damage. It's made it to where it's maybe perhaps easier to climb over some of the edges to just get past it. It didn't like roll it down the path or something though. Like it's more like it's now difficult terrain where there are the splinters of a very large boulder that are still mostly blocks the path.
Can everyone pass this, or should I do it again?
If you go one by one.
I'm asking I'm role playing. I'm asking the party.
Oh, my bad.
Well, I mean, if we could do that, of course. I could also create a vine that would just go over top, and then you all can simply walk up it. Sure, you've experienced climbing rope before, yes?
yeah, I could do that.
Right.
I don't have a problem with either option.
You like the vine option better, though, don't you, Otis? Because it's got like a plant involved.
I mean, I've squeezed through small places too, so I don't really care either way.
Okay.
Does it make Micah the tiebreaker? I feel like it does. Micah, what do you want?
You keep giving this boy an existential crisis.
Micah, you've chosen to want. Now you shall.
What do you want, kid?
So there was vine, and then there was the.
It's like partially broken up now, so we can try to pass through it, or we can keep breaking it down, or we can try going over the bits in the vine. Those are the three options.
Make it break. For visit others who come can go to.
All right, kid, makes sense to me.
I'm going to keep your damage from last time because I think you did really well. And it was already broken up quite a bit. With the time that you're spending on it, you're able to basically reduce it to debris and then kind of sweep that to the sides so that the path is now passable, not only by you, but as Micah said, if anyone else comes, they would not have any trouble in this area.
Good deed of the day completed, right, Micah?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Just a little bit past where this boulder is on the road, you end up at a very, very narrow but deep crevasse. And there is a swaying like rope bridge that is over top it. I will give you for free. It's not going to be necessarily easy to cross the rope bridge. And the hazards of falling are immense.
How wide is it?
Like one person across.
I think he means the chasm.
Yeah, the chasm.
Oh, I like 20, 25 feet.
So close.
It's not long. It's not a wide distance that you need to go. It's just, it is a very deep, it's a long fall.
Ardris, I don't suppose you could fly us across this so that we don't have to deal with this bridge.
And we think of that riddle where it's like the chicken, a tiger, and
You gotta see
the back and forth, right?
which two do you leave behind each time? Yes.
Aaron, I do have a question. Well, actually, I can just ask by proxy, see if it works. Otis is going to try to talk to Nazareth.
Are we speaking with animals talking, or are we memory talking?
It'll have to be speak with animals talking because this is very specific. So I'll spend the spell slot.
Okay.
And it's gonna be like, "Hey Nazareth, if I turn to a mouse or a spider or something, can you carry me across?"
Yes. Probably. I don't know. I haven't carried you across before. Probably.
All right, just don't eat me or whatever. And then in common, Otis will say, "Me and Raph are gonna give it a shot trying to cross together."
Your bird can carry you like that?
I mean, if he's small enough, because he can still wild shape.
Well, did he say that he was going to wild shape? Because she assumes.
Yeah, if he
Big
turns into
dog.
a bug or a mouse. Or
I thought it was Big Otis saying, "All right,
No.
the bird is going to take me across now." She's like, "Oh."
No. If the chasm
Azra
was
just
narrower,
leans
we
on your
could've-
shoulder, starts ineffectually pulling up.
That's so sad. Yeah, if we could go 10 feet, I could teleport everybody.
I'm good. I can go over there. Wait,
Oh yeah, you got that earth spell.
wait.
It
Who?
seems
Okay, fly? Need fly?
Ardris.
Once I can fire you all over.
Wait. 1 second. Can't you touch someone and make them fly?
Yes, but you have to cast at the 4th level.
Oh,
Like,
gotcha.
More than one person at a time.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I'm okay.
Micah, this is pretty dangerous. If anyone falls, I'm not sure we'll see them again. I think Ardris already needs to expend the spell to fly across. We should just make use of the spell's duration.
I teleport.
You can teleport.
Kellen cocks an eyebrow at you.
It's there. I could teleport there.
Kid, you never told us you could do that.
I stay with group, but to make easier on Ardris, I teleport.
Okay. Once there are some of us over on the other side, that makes sense to me.
Okay. Out of character, he's planning on using Misty Step.
Mm-hmm.
No, I gathered that, but
Okay.
Kellen is like, you can teleport?
Yeah.
Ardris will cast Fly on himself and then offer his hand.
Kellen will take it.
To tell him.
And then
How much can Ardris lift?
I have no idea. I don't
Oh, no.
know the Dungeons and Dragons for carrying things. I don't know at all.
You can push, drag, or lift 30 times your strength score.
Well,
So in this case, we're dragging.
I could definitely carry more.
Is this dragging or is this carrying? Because you're flying. I think this is carrying, which is your strength score my 15.
Wait, is my strength score what?
By 15, multiplied by 15.
Listen.
Because if you drag, it's supported by the ground as well. Like you're just pushing or pulling something along a surface. Carrying is lifting off of the ground, and since you're flying, I think it's got to be carrying, right?
Like I can carry 165 pounds. So
Honestly, that's Otis. But
I'm gonna need y'all to lose some weight real fast.
Kellen, you
It's
165
tiny.
pounds or less?
Helen is, yeah, I actually think I have it notated.
Including your equipment?
My equipment.
Yo, this is becoming
Weighs- My
my
equipment weighs a total of 33 pounds. So the question is, does Kellen weigh less than 132? Which, I mean, he's pretty skinny, so I'd say probably.
All right, cool. You offer him your hand. You carry him across as you are flying. You land, and it is not a problem because of maths. Because of maths.
Mary's gonna cross her arms and look at everybody on the other side, kind of like thumping her foot a little bit, like a little mad rabbit.
Oh.
Wait, are you already over, or are you
Nobody held her over.
Otis literally can't.
Artist
Well,
is going back.
he
and
can
forth.
fly back.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
back.
Mary doesn't know that. She thought all of y'all just left.
No, Micah hasn't even teleported yet.
Okay, Micah's still there.
Yeah.
I'm literally the only
Okay.
one who's on the other side right now.
Okay. I thought everybody
Mary
left.
is glaring at Kellen, though. How dare you?
After you danced with me.
We're doing the riddle, though. You know, I have to go to one side, come back, go back, and then back and forth.
Where's the chicken?
It's been sick.
Yeah,
All right,
he'll go back and take each person.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say you don't have any problem. You scoop up Miri, you scoop up Otis. Are you, Micah? Are you letting Argus fly you, or are you Misty stepping up?
Oh, Missy stepped up.
Okay. So as you get Otis, Micah Misty steps and is able to join the party. Congratulations, you've successfully crossed a rickety bridge by not touching it.
I ain't risking that.
Mm-hmm.
It is only a little bit ways ahead of you as you are now going up the side of this other one. You make it to a small plateau where the road twists around the side of the mountain and up after this bridge. So like it goes around to where you can't see it. And it is hitting about noon now. The rain has lessened to a drizzle. And then you hear a loud screech. Two of them.
Otis recognize it.
You recognize, for sure, the two giant eagles that swoop down from the cloud cover in the sky. One of them immediately, well, Otis, I'm going to say like kind of your passive nature understanding. You're looking at it, it's very interesting. They're not flying the way you would normally think. And it becomes immediately apparent why that is, as one of them perches up on the side of this mountain, the talons digging in like pitons in order to anchor, and the other one lands, and someone dismounts from a saddle on the back of it. And you see this large figure. They're currently in heavy armor with a metal helmet and a large black rain poncho.
So are these like giant eagles?
The eagles are giant eagles, yes.
Okay.
Do I recognize these people?
We're going to do a very quick flashback here. You are in continental politics class, and you are studying about the Gregan Empire. Make me a very quick history check.
Got you, fam.
Thing, Argus.
18 plus 9. That's a 27.
Oh, that's beautiful. you recognize that within so the Gregan Empire's main kind of fighting force is called the Petra Costa. So they're part soldier, part like watchmen. They handle pretty much all of the security throughout. But they have a special like aerial division basically called the Ventrida. And these are them. They are specially trained in order to pilot basically these large animals that have been also brought up to this from birth. So these are Gregan soldiers, but they're more like scouts. They're not necessarily designed to like stand and fight. They're supposed to observe and report.
Just to be sure, I am not aware of any active conflict between Theron Tamiel and Gregan at the moment, right?
You are not aware of any active conflict anywhere on the continent.
Cool. Hello there, greetings. I hope you are well, especially with the weather.
As you kind of call out with this drizzle, the figure removes her helmet, and you can see there's this very tall, very beautiful kind of statuesque woman. She has warm brown skin and silver white spiral curls that kind of come to just below her chin. Although right now it's plastered to her head kind of due to the helmet. And then once she takes it off due to the rain, very golden eyes. And she looks at you and she's like, well, it is a pleasure.
Well, you honor us with your words. It is good to see someone else enjoying their time out.
Well, a rain ride isn't too bad. We were just curious. Oh, my apologies. I'm Ventrida Captain Sherba Divin. That's my first Torrance Abula. And this, and she gestures towards the eagle, is Radiance.
I need you to spell all of that, dog.
Yeah, and try to captain first officer.
I got radiance. I did get that. Everything else.
Are we getting that in Zoom?
Yes, both names are there. You cannot see like the other person. They are on this eagle perched up the mountain a little bit, and they are still in their full armor with this poncho, so their form is obscured, especially in the rain. So you can't see the other person that's kind of up there. But
what does first Torrance Abula mean?
His name is his name is Torrance Abula. His title is first. So she's a captain. He's a first.
Understood.
Yeah. So as she kind of like stows her helmet on like the back of the eagle that is sitting there, very chill, very relaxed, very like poised. She smells at you and it seems quite affable, and she's like, "Well, we saw you clear the boulder. Appreciate that."
So we were supposed to do that.
One of my companions believed that it would be best if other travelers did not run into the same troubles that we did.
It's a good instinct. And she kind of like scans the group trying to figure out who that was.
Micah slowly raises their hand.
Hello. And she's like, sorry, my name is Captain Sherba. Your name is?
Micah.
Micah. And then she turns to each of you in turn to get your names.
Owen?
Otis.
Minnie. Hi.
Hello.
This is Nazareth.
Hello.
I am Arthur's lad, Theron Tamiel.
Were you watching us?
Well, we just came out on patrol this morning. I have to say, I'm surprised to see anyone here. We saw. Oh, goodness, did you come through the forest? Because I don't know if you saw this morning. It's just completely overgrown. It's something strange is happening there.
Yeah, the forest is evil. Trees are going bad.
Huh. I guess it's a good thing that we don't have forest here.
I don't know if it spreads to rocks or not.
Though I am certain, Captain, that you are capable, I do think it would be prudent to caution any travelers that you might pass upon, that they exercise caution when going through the forest at this time.
Oh, I think I'm going to advise no one go to the forest, much less through it. But I appreciate that. Actually, I wasn't expecting to see anyone. We still do patrols just in case, there's someone is very, very lost. It wasn't. You're an interesting group. Can I ask where you're headed?
True.
We're probably that very, very lost group that you're looking for.
At the moment, we are navigating our way through Gregan towards Voltaine.
I see. Well, you're only about half a day's travel from Vabana, which is the capital city. At the pace you're going, at least. So, you should get there fairly soon.
That is
Hopefully the rain will let up.
That would be nice.
While you're within our recon territory, we'll keep an eye on you from up above.
Ain't you just take us there or something?
I mean, not really, to be honest. It's kind of like, if we took you, we wouldn't be able to help anyone else kind of deal.
Otis nods. Aaron, can Otis cat speak with animals? Again.
Who are you casting it on?
Well, Otis is trying to speak to the giant eagles.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay, you go ahead and cast it. What are you going to do?
They said one of your names is Radiance.
I'm so upset that this keeps happening. Eventually, you're going to be in a plantless, animalless, NPC-less place where I don't have to keep coming up with how things happen. The giant eagle looks at you, and it's this loud screech for everyone else. But what you hear is yes, I am Radiance.
You're pretty.
Yes.
Not prettier than my bird, though.
No. And you watch as these eyes narrow at you.
He's like, well, it's true. And Otis is going to point to Nazareth. She's the best.
Nazareth just kind of does this really awkward when you meet someone that people expect you to get along with kind of thing, where does a little bird hop and looks at it and does a little bird hop. It's hello. Bird hop.
You guys know about those evil trees or whatever? Because the animals didn't like it back in the forest.
No. I am Gregan.
This is going to be tough. I'll pause because I know we got to keep going. I'll pause.
All right. Okay. She kind of you get the idea that she's scoping you out just a little bit, decides that you are not like a threat to national security or anything, so she's not going to stop you going forward. She is unable to provide you more help other than like, should you get in trouble in their territory, they will be around to help you. Is there anything else that you'd like to say as she redons her helmet and takes to the saddle of this giant eagle?
Hey, Radiance, anything you want to tell your rider?
Captain Sherba turns and looks at you and is just like, no, we've got that covered.
Oh, you can do it too.
You don't become a Ventrida by ignoring your bird. Just saying.
But do you know what it's saying, though?
Yeah. I think I do.
Otis is like super chipper when he hears that.
Just a family of birds now.
You see that, Nazareth? Other people can talk to birds too.
As these giant eagle wings unfold and like you kind of get blasted away a little bit from the lift as it takes back off and both wheel into the sky, Nazareth does kind of fly up with them for a little bit before looping back to where you are. But they do, I mean, they keep to the promise. They're flying a little bit lower than they were now, so they're not into the clouds so much that you can't see them. So you do see as they're making large passes and they'll occasionally perch somewhere.
Otis is going to say, it's kind of interesting. The birds their instincts didn't seem particularly bothered by all the evil in the forest. Because remember, the animals didn't like it either.
Well, I'm just a guess. I'm guessing that their riders haven't taken them to the forest because they know that it's dangerous. So maybe they're just unaware because they haven't gone there yet.
It's a thought. Whatever.
No, we should continue our journey.
I think so.
Should be sleeping in the rain for another evening.
No, please don't. I don't want to sleep in the rain. Please.
It's not so bad, Rabbit. You just got to keep warm.
As you continue to trek forward, making good time as the rain now lessens, and you have this kind of like observation of above you. I think this is a pretty good spot to take our break before we get to our capital city.
Oh, it's going down. Oh, man.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming by and watching the stream. As always, we definitely appreciate it. If you like what you see here, would like to talk about the campaign, please feel free to join our Discord. We have a section for spoilers, non-spoilers. Of course, we're open for fan art. And if you ever want to have questions with the cast regarding their players or have your fan theories about the campaign, we would love to hear it. So we're going to be back within 10 to 15 minutes for the second half of Rivenwood Academy. Farewell for now. All right, and we are now back for the second half of Rivenwood Academy, Season 2, Episode 6. With that said, Aaron, take it away.
As you continue to trek forward, you're finally able, as you come around a bend, to see the capital. It is a literal city on a hill, a massive fortress whose tall stone walls and towers are built into the mountaintop itself. It's a climb for that last section, and you are able to finally make it to the city gates, exhausted, just as dusk is hitting. There is a very friendly-looking Petrocosta there. What I told you, those like half soldier, half city watchman kind of thing. you can see that the city's colors, there's banners everywhere. The city's colors are black, this very pale blue and silver. And there's lots of motifs of stars and the specific constellation, which represents Grillion, the heavenly dragon. Unlike the kind of black-coated Ventrida that you saw earlier, the Petrocosta uniform is much lighter, much brighter, so it emphasizes more of that blue and silver. And as you're coming up, there is this Petrocosta kind of just leaning there against the wall, and he brightens up when he sees you. And he's like, "Oh, hello. Kind of late for a bunch of travelers."
Hello. Yes, but we did decide that we wanted to reach the city before calling it an evening. It is quite rainy out here.
Oh yeah, it's been one of the weather, huh? Like pretty bad. Pretty good. Sorry, I'm Leap.
Leap. It's nice to meet you.
Is it spelled the way it's like commonly spelled? As in the verb?
Sure is.
Okay. Thank you.
That's a very interesting name.
Thank you. What's your name?
I'm Mitty.
That's also a very interesting name. Mitty.
Yes.
I'm Audrey Soler.
You know, it's interesting. You sort of saw this with a Ventrida, where like she kind of hesitated when you said that, and then just kept going because the whole party was talking. Leap also kind of hesitates a little bit, and then goes back to me like, "Oh yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you, Ardris."
Mm-hmm. It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
Yeah, welcome to the city of Vabana. Nice capital here in our Gregan Empire. I'll just take down your names. And he pulls out like this little scroll and is writing each of your names down as you're introducing yourselves. We just ask that you inform the city just at the gates when you're leaving, so we know roughly how many people are here. And I can give you directions to anywhere you'd like to go. Where are you headed?
Sure, Leap, but just very quickly to ensure we don't overstay our welcome, do you have any amounts of time that you prefer travelers to stay before they move on?
I mean, if you're planning to stay longer than like 30 days, you'll want to register as like a resident.
Okay. I think that will not be a problem. Thank you, Leap.
No problem. Kellen kind of looks at the list.
Would you point me towards where I could find the other nobility?
Ooh, the other nobility. Interesting question. I mean, I guess you'd want to head towards the Citadel. So the Citadel is in the very center of the city. It's where the Emperor and his family lives, and right around there is kind of the I guess you'd call it the noble district. We affectionately kind of call it the high rise.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're looking for lodgings, he's giving you a little look over at like, you look rain bedraggled and like not wealthy, as a party. As a party, like he's like, well, if you're looking for like some lodgings, I could point you to a couple different places. Over on the west side of the town is the Wing Court. It's kind of our market district. It's less expensive around there. More like.
Is he giving us the you look poor people look? Is that what's happening?
Well, he's trying to be aware of the variety of financial brackets that people can bring when they are traveling long distances. Now you don't get the idea that he's like looking at you. He's like, oh, the poors need to go this way. It's just more like he's trying to give you the most information. He's like, closer to the Citadel, there's our merchant district, the Area Torre. A little bit higher price, but you can find literally anything there.
Market district, merchant district.
Yeah, so we've got the Wing Court's the market district on the west. The Citadel's in the center of the town. The Area Torre is very close to the Citadel on the south side. None of you seem particularly religious, but the observatory temple is really nice to look at least.
Argus is going to cast prestidigitation on himself, and he's going to do it in the way so he can low key flash his signet ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, the Travell is the area of the city with inns, taverns, souvenirs, kind of aimed towards travelers. I'm not trying to tell you where to go. I'm just trying to give you the lay of the land, as it were.
We thank you for your guidance, and we appreciate your hospitality.
It is absolutely my pleasure, Ardris.
Did you write my bird down as one of the guests?
I did not. Should I?
Otis turns to Nazareth. You want to be one of the guests?
I am one of the guests.
There you go.
All right, name, please.
You know your name.
My name is Nazareth. Writes down Nazareth.
Hey, Leap.
Yes, checks the list to get Kellen.
Watch this. And Kellen will kind of like shake his hand slightly, and he goes, Illuminari. trying to see if Nazareth will do it.
Immediately, you know Nazareth does. Nazareth moves to perch on top of Otis's head, and it's like, Luminari! And like that glow. I mean, it's fairly dim at this point, but it does kind of glow. And Leap looks at it, and he's like, I'll admit, it's pretty cool. I was a little nervous when he told me to just watch this and weren't kind of giving me much of a bounce, but like, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, you know, Leap, as a spellcaster who's working on his social skills, I acknowledge that maybe activating magical items without any warning is not the smartest way to interact with people. But you gotta admit, it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Leap, she can also do this. And Miri will start.
An illuminated Azrath is now bobbing up and down on top of Otis' head, for sure. And he's like, I don't know, I think maybe y'all ought to head to the Travell. Y'all would be a hit there. But hey, Kellen, watch this. And he opens up the gates. And as he does, you can see that the city is illuminated because night is hitting, with like lanterns everywhere along the streets and along like the edges of the buildings that are here. There's stalls and markets, and there's music playing that's coming from various different areas because they're still coming off of like the festival days. The whole city is kind of just blossoming in front of you, and it is vast and massive and really quite beautiful. And he's like,
Wow.
welcome to Vabana.
Kellen goes, Luminari. As he deactivates the ring and stares at all the magical lanterns in wonder.
To be fair, not all of them are magical. Some of them are not. It kind of depends on where they are, but it's a really beautiful, like, I don't know if you've been to like a lantern festival, but like that kind of like dim glow light that is everywhere is just really gorgeous. And the architecture here is such that it gives like a very, it's very unique. It's nothing like any other place you've been to yet. So I think that you might get a little bit of that, like, oh wow.
Miri would just say, it reminds me of the circus and all the lights when it gets really dark.
Yeah, you know, we do get quite a few traveling performers through here.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
I mean, honestly, the road up isn't all that great, but the stay here is very much worth it. You know, if you want to see something really cool, you should head on over to the Skygate. It's a park. It's over on the far west side. It faces the Dwelling volcano, and it looks really cool.
You have a volcano?
Well, I mean, it's not here, but it's close enough that when you get up, like in the Skygate, it's a nice look.
Guys, we should totally go to this thing.
I want to eat rabbit.
Right. right. Anything else I can do for you guys?
No, we could hardly ask for you to give us more of your time.
Well, don't hesitate if you need something. Hail one of the Petrocosta that are like walking watches around the city. Any one of us would be happy to help.
I will remember that. Thank you.
And as you enter the gate, he kind of shuts it behind you. There is another Petrocosta on the inside. It doesn't seem to be like barred or latched or anything. They're just kind of pulling it to as night has settled. Where would you like to go?
Yeah, I believe that you are poor. Right. Yes. Let us focus on finding some place to stay for the evening, and then, if you all wish, you can explore the city either in the morning or, well, ideally in the morning.
This place better have food, Idris.
Most cities tend to have food. That is a general requirement for society.
I mean, as you say that, where you're walking through, there are like food carts and stalls set up everywhere, and there's like sizzling meats and various dishes that are like designed to be consumed while walking or moving around that are definitely tickling your nose.
Otis is not going to go for them, though. Interestingly enough,
Argus,
he would stare longingly, but he wouldn't go for it.
Yes, Khan?
do you think it's prudent to, once we locate somewhere to stay for a little while, finish the identification of the items we possess so that we might see about offloading some of the unnecessary ones and perhaps incurring some funds for the journey?
Yes, that would be very wise. But first, let's get out of the open for a bit.
Perhaps dry off completely?
We're going to go to the place that is not expensive, but not cheap either.
Are we going to, like, if we find a place that's, like, more tavern-y, are there bards playing?
So this area that you're in right now on the south side doesn't seem to have, like, any inns or taverns here. It's mostly, like, if you go further away from the road, it's mostly residential in this area, but along the road is a lot of vendors and street sellers. There's quite a few different, like, performances that you can hear in various areas. Like, musicians are playing, there's somebody reciting poetry, there's lots of different things happening in this area. Along this main road, you can head, like, directly in front of you, you can see the citadel kind of towering in the middle of this city. As you head towards it, if you want to try and flag someone down to get better directions, you could, or you can just zoom around until you find something.
We know what we're doing.
Okay. And then I assume we're probably looking for indicators that we've found the Travell district.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So as you walk forward, you get closer and closer towards the citadel as you're just kind of following the road. You pass by this gorgeous park. It's very interesting because, like, in such a harsh environment, they've taken a lot of time and expense in order to make a very nice park. And in the very center, there's this really beautiful sculpture of 4 figures. You see, it's wrought out of, like, the majority of it is like this sort of like onyx flecked with sparkly silvery bits, so it kind of looks like the night sky. It's stonework here, except for the hair on all 3 figures is like this pale silvery white. In the center is a very, very, very tall man. He's absolutely, like, just built with piercing eyes and some scales that run along the nose and the brow. So maybe not fully human. And you can see that there is a crown on his head, but unlike like kind of a traditional crown that sits atop, that actually forms like a large halo around the backside of his head. Next to him is a woman who similarly is very tall, very graceful, with you don't see any scales on her features, but she's strikingly beautiful. And then there are two younger women placed on either side of the central figures.
Can Otis make out anything more with his passive perception?
Your passive perception is what?
18.
18. I think, like, as you see it, like, it is very eye-catching. It's well lit by all of these lanterns, and so as you kind of like are drawn to it, you can tell that there is like a small inscription on a placard, like next to it, and it says, "The Drake Regnate, Emperor Mephisis Goldbane, his wife, Empress Merlara Goldbane,
Eric,
and the
please
royal
type that in
heirs,
chat.
Alanis and Edith." I will type that in chat. So there are 4 names: Mephisis Goldbane, Merlara Goldbane, and then Alanis and Edith.
Ethicists. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just see how to spell that, but thank you.
Do I know of these people? Or do I know them?
Well, Otis will say what he could make out on the plaque and tell the group.
You do, and it's interesting. Like, it's primarily written in Draconic. There's a translation in Common. There's a translation in Human. There's a translation in Celestial.
Interesting.
Yeah. You, Ardris, do know these names. You've been well drilled in like politics. You took the continental politics. This is the Emperor and Empress of the Gregan Empire, and you don't know much about the Emperor, but the Empress does have some connection to. Well, you're aware there's some connection with some noble families in Therantamia. If you want more, give me a history check.
You know what? 24. 24.
Be out here.
It was very much in passing, but you have this vague memory of seeing a woman that looks exactly like this woman that's depicted in the sculpture in your family home when you were a child. Well, not a child, but like teenager for elves.
Oh, okay.
Several decades ago.
Like 32.
Middle-aged.
Yeah, you know, the teenage years, 70 to 85 or
70 to 85, yeah. Well, let's give it a timeline. We'll say maybe 30 years ago. So you were an elven child, but you were still quite old. You remember seeing this woman in your home. You weren't introduced, or like you didn't have any close social ties with her as a child. Like, you were kind of just shooed from the room, but you were aware that she had at least once visited your home.
Yes, the Emperor and Empress. Important time, if I recall correctly, Empress Goldbane was visiting my father. Naturally, I wasn't able to be a part of the conversation at the time, but still, it's positive news. Perhaps you can call on their influence if we need to.
Man, we really need to talk to your father. I'd almost be curious if we can trust him with the knowledge of what the world is confronting as we speak.
I would see no one better to entrust that information with. Surprisingly enough, we have met no people that could send a sending spell to them, so hopefully that will change here.
Perhaps the Empress knows someone. Good point.
But for now, we should really get out of the waist sweat clothing. I would never dream of meeting the Empress just in this condition.
Also,
As
a good point.
As you're walking, you do see that there are signs that indicate The Citadel is further north, but if you want to go to the Travell, you'd be heading towards the east. You can make a right-hand turn, or if you're heading towards the Wing Court, you can make a left-hand turn. You are now getting in. Yeah, you're now getting into the Merchant District. So you can see there.
Longingly at the Citadel path for like 5 seconds before leaving.
Which in Elven time is nothing.
A passing moment.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to fast forward here just a little bit as you meander your way through the Merchant District. You end up in the Travell, and you are able to find the Soaring Worm Inn is one of the options for you. It looks to be a nicest establishment, but maybe not the nicest establishment. It's not in the Noble District or anything. You do also see the Rock Bunk Tavern, which is slightly less nice, a little bit more boisterous. If you want to keep looking, I will just keep giving you more names.
Question about the Soaring Worm.
Yeah, that's Worm with a Y.
That's what I was wondering. That's exactly what I was wondering.
Worm with a Y.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for predicting that.
Gonna inch closer and closer to the more rowdy tavern.
Otis will follow. Otis is no stranger to that.
All right. Let's go into the loud one.
Argris.
Yes.
Do you believe that we're safe enough that we can afford to stay in 2 different inns?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
I would believe that would be rather unwise.
He looks, is Miri close enough that she can overhear him at the moment?
She's not gonna leave the group, but she's just I want to go over there.
He's gonna lean into Argris and whisper. He's I genuinely have no idea how I'm supposed to focus on my projects in there.
Wow.
I share your concern. However, it is important that we allow our companions to do the things they enjoy as well.
Kellen literally sighs. He's yeah, I know. That's what I said too. And he just marches off in the direction of the other end.
Micah, how you feeling?
He is staring very differently at this entire city. It's the extravagant nature, the large, bustling crowds is very different from almost anything they have ever experienced before. So so they're definitely trying to absorb as much things as possible. Just staring at everything.
Yeah, there is more to see here than you've maybe seen in your entire life in total.
Yes.
It is just so packed with so many stuff. You want to make me a perception check?
Okay. Woohoo! 17 on the dice, that'll be a 23.
Very, very nice. Yeah, so as you're looking around, you can see that this is a predominantly human population. As you get into the Travell, you're seeing lots and lots of different types of travelers. But throughout the main city, it's predominantly human, but it doesn't seem to be only human. There's a strong vibe of this whole draconic background. And it's interesting when you were looking at those statues and you think back to the Ventrida that you met, they were really, really tall, really statuesque, really striking good looks. You think that maybe these people are unlike other humans that you've met in your time.
They're different.
You do also see quite a few number of Dragonborn. They have a large population in the city as you're kind of going around. So it is not uncommon as you're walking through, you're seeing Dragonborn here and there.
Sorry, Micah. Who's different?
The people here, they're like not just human. They're different. Like so many people here are very different.
Is that not the beauty of a big city, Micah? You get to see all kinds of people around here.
Oh, this is first time in city like this. Huge.
You'll get a hang of it, kid. Just stay out of the alleyways.
What's there?
Nothing important. Just
Well, he should.
avoid. He does not need to know what may happen in the darkest sections of the city. It's not important.
Dangerous
Just-
people that'll kick you when you're down and steal your food.
Why?
Because sometimes people can get mean when they're desperate.
As long as we stick together, Micah, that we're not going to let anybody go into the dark alley and get kicked down and steal their food.
Okay.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
I don't eat, so they won't hurt me, right?
No one is going to hurt you, I can assure you.
I won't promise you that, kid. Streets are rough.
What
You
is?
will be fine.
Why?
From what I understand of the Empire here, the gold pains, they run a very tight ship and you will be fine. I can assure you the guards around here are very capable, from what I was told, and you are a very talented cast in your own rights.
Good.
Shall we go inside and change our clothing and perhaps find something to eat?
I think so.
Yes.
Food.
Could I wanted to try something that I've seen my brother do.
Which one?
He's the other. He has the other loot. You
Did
all saw him,
Otis see
no?
that?
Otis did not see the performance of the circus.
No, he didn't.
He saw
No,
the
he-
stage performance.
He didn't see the
No.
brother though.
You,
Wait,
you, you didn't see this
He didn't see
because
Cascade.
of
Right.
Helen didn't either, right? I was off
I don't-
doing other things.
Callan didn't see it at all. I don't think.
Mhm.
I think no, if I remember correctly, Kellen did see the final sword fight, but not any of the rest of it. I don't think Otis saw the sword fight either.
I thought Otis did. Like I thought that
I
was the
thought you
point.
did.
Yeah, that was a whole.
Could be
plot
wrong.
point.
I just thought that because of the whole your mom and everything, that you had left to go see Drogon. I don't know. You could absolutely.
No, but
be
then
right.
you had us make it back.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. I think pretty much everyone saw the sword fight,
Mhm.
and pretty much no one
Mhm.
saw the rest.
We flash back, and Otis was there. Okay.
yeah.
flash forward.
We very quickly would scan the face of the crowd and see all of our party in attendance. Excellent. So you head into the Rockbunk Tavern. What are you doing, right?
Miri would like to go up to, I guess, the bar and look for somebody that can answer her questions.
Nice. There is a red dragonborn currently like polishing a glass behind the bar. And when you pop up, he's like, they are like, hey, you're new.
Yes, I am new. I just
You're
got into
young.
the city. Anyway,
Are you, I mean, I get a little bit confused about kind of like the whole which like age thing among different species of folk. Like I don't know, maybe you're an adult, but you look like a kid.
you don't need to worry about it right now.
I mean, technically, I'm pretty sure it's like the primary thing I need to worry about right now. It's kind of like the whole job description, sort of.
Just going to ask if I could you know, my friends and I kind of need a place to stay, food to eat, and I'm a bit of a bard by trade, so I don't know.
You look up at the stage where the last bard act is like packing up their musical instruments, and you can see that the crowd is a little bit restless as like their entertainment is gone, and it's just about the right time of day that everyone's had enough to be a little bit rowdy. And he kind of looks at you and looks at the crowd and is like, what do you do? Like you play an instrument?
I do. I can play the flute, I can play the lute, I can dance, sing, all of that.
Wow. Okay. All right, give it a shot.
Do I go up there? Do they have like a? I've never done this before.
Oh, all right. Okay. What's your stage name?
My stage name?
You know, when you perform, what do you want to be called?
I didn't think I would get this far.
Hey, Rabbit, you're still dirty or whatever.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything about it, but you do look rather worse for the wear. If that's something that you could, like, I'm sure we could, you could go into the washroom or something, change. Maybe.
Legislation.
Sorry, is this another performer? Turns towards Otis.
Nah, I'm just a friend or whatever. Hey, Otis is just going to cast prestidigitation on Miri casually to, like, try to clean her.
Huh. I don't know what to do with that. You are not going to get changed, or you are?
I don't really have any other clothes right now. They got blown up.
That's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. Okay, stage name. We'll wing it. We'll play it by ear, see how it goes. What do you want to be called?
She'll actually like start making a noise. Magical Miri. I don't know. There.
All right, I'm just gonna stop you right here. Is Miri your real name?
Yes.
Let's pick a different one. I mean, especially because you appear to be a child, and we haven't resolved that conversation. We're just going to we're going to choose another name.
Okay. You don't have to worry about my age right now. We can solve that later.
That's a long name. You might want to shorten it down to something.
Oh no.
I'll be honest, this is always the hardest part of like any like story design or character creation is coming up with names. So I'm happy to see somebody else trying to go through it as a character.
This is torture, actually.
Sorry, they look over Miri towards Ardris and was like, she with you guys.
Yes.
All right.
Despite her nerves, she is quite talented as a performer.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to suggest you guys go sit over there at that table. There's an empty table. Points you at. And they're like, well, I'll bring over, like, I don't know, a cup of tea or something. Think about the name, brainstorm, group work here. And then we can go from there when you're ready.
Yeah, seems fine.
Awesome.
Hey, Miri. If I remember correctly, you also had an act that involved swordplay. Did you not?
Well, yeah, but I also... That's kind of choreographed, too. And I don't really see... It's kind of crowded in here. Why would I could hurt somebody.
Why'd you call yourself Firebird or something?
Firebird?
I don't know. I thought it was cool. Because Nazareth is cool. She's a Firebird.
I'm a firebird.
See?
I'm cool.
What about? Okay, listen to this. Firebird, princess of the dark and lava.
Firebird, princess of the
I-
dark and lava.
I personally enjoy a long epitaph, but I think for a performer, you want something short and sweet.
Nazareth perches on the table. I am Firebird, princess of the dark and lava.
What about something like Lore Loot? Well, you're
It's such
playing
a
the lute.
wizard suggestion.
It is really. You're gonna tell me to name myself after a spell.
You call yourself the Crimson Princess, if you like.
Hold on.
It's your name, Rabbit. Do what you want.
Kellen goes, I've got it.
What?
The Vorpal Loot.
It has a nice ring to it.
I greatly appreciate how straightforward you are, Kellen. It's very refreshing.
Eventually, there's the Vorpal wand and the Vorpal bird and the.
Okay, everybody stop. I'm going to take Vorpal loot.
The tavern keeper that you were talking to comes by with like this teapot and 5 teacups and like sets it out with a little bit of lemon, a little bit of milk, a little bit of honey. It's like, all right, do you figure something out?
Yes, we did. I did.
I guess you want me to ask?
The Vorpal loot.
What's a Vorpal?
Ask him.
No, it
Points to
honestly doesn't
Kellen.
matter. It sounds really cool. It doesn't matter what it means. They won't know. I don't know. That's fine. So, do you need a minute? Are you prepared?
Well, I have a loot, and I have. Sure. I think I'm ready.
All right. And
Hold
no
it,
one
Rabbit.
else is
What?
joining you up on stage?
Otis is going to cast enhance ability on you with his ring.
Okay, wait.
Oh.
You gotta wait before Mary talks. I need you to tell me which one are you doing.
Which one of us casts enhance ability?
No, when you cast enhance ability, there are like 5 different effects or 4 different effects. I forget how many.
Yeah, we're
Fox
going
is
for the
cunning.
charisma one. I forgot what the name for it is. I hate this mouse. Let me see. It's not fun. That's the one that I didn't get a good look at. Pulling it
Evil
up.
Splendor.
Thank you. I just got into it. Thank you.
Thematically, like very relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You do that. What does it look like when you cast it?
It essentially looks like Otis snaps his fingers, and then like a miniature version of an eagle just comes and kind of rests on her shoulder for a second, glowing red light, and then it just kind of disappears.
I like the image of like this bird kind of like becoming a glow that rests like a shawl kind of over your shoulders.
Sure.
He's
Just
like,
that's
yeah.
cool. Awesome.
What do I get for that one? I don't remember. If that works.
Advantage on your charisma checks.
Okay.
The Vorpal loot. The Vorpal loot. It's kind of hard to say all in one go, but I'll do my best. Vorpal loot.
Mhm.
That name is crazy.
All right, let's go. And they move you up to the stage, and the crowd seems to immediately pick up because they were kind of grumbling about the last performers having ended. And this Dragon Board is very interesting because they are the second they take the stage, it's very clear that like they are working the crowd, and the crowd is on their side. They take it very, I don't know. Everyone seems very happy to see them. And he turns to the crowd and is like, all right. We have a new, exciting debut from the Vorpal Lute, everybody. And kind of like does that whole like wavy hand gesture to get you up on stage. And a not rain-drenched, but yet rather disheveled looking in traveler's clothing rabbit folk steps on the stage.
Yes.
What do you do?
Say hi, everybody. I'm the Vorpal Lute.
From the back, you hear Nazareth. Hi, everybody.
I'm going to sing a little song that my dad taught me. Okay.
You know that really uncomfortable feeling when a room like gets quiet and expectant and everyone's looking at you and no one's talking like they should be? The entire room is completely focused on you right now.
Ooh wee.
The cop.
Okay.
I would like to use minor illusion to create a bunch of ornate flutes, not flutes, lutes, that will basically mime a performance while Miri is also performing. Yeah, that TV series that can be named on the internet. Kind of cool vibes.
Sure. I think when that happens, you do get a definite reaction from the crowd. That's just like, what? A little bit confused, a little bit like, maybe this is not the performance we thought we were going to see when this like rabbit stepped on stage. As you go to play, go ahead and roll that performance check.
Okay, that's not a great one for the first one. I got a nat 20 on the second.
Yes!
Let's go!
Yes!
Let's go!
Yes!
Enhance ability.
I rolled a 9 on the first one. Oh.
We got you. We got you.
For that, it's gonna be a 31 on my
Nobody puts rabbit in the corner. Let's go.
Oh man. Okay, give me some like emotional content for what kind of music you're playing, so I can tell you just how hard the audience buys it.
So she would have like just taken a deep breath and started singing in like Elvish, one of the songs that her dad. It was probably like the first few songs that he taught her whenever she was like super little, but she just keeps practicing them. And it's probably about like it's like a little love song or something.
Is it a sad kind of love song or a happy kind of love song?
I'd say happy because she saw the crowd.
All right. I feel like it. When you first start, the crowd's just kind of like, all right, what? Like, this is not. We were expecting some lively music and dancing, this kind of stuff. But the longer you sing and the longer that you play, like, the whole room, like, the vibe just mellows hard. And you can see that, like, people are leaning forward in their seats, like they're trying to like, get closer to the music. And scattered around the room, there's a few people, like, kind of wiping the corners of their eyes a little bit as they listen. It's still, like, you're back to completely quiet, but this time it's enraptured. No one can look away. No one, like, can focus on anything else other than this gorgeous song that you're playing. And I think you've probably had enough practice that, like, you make a fairly complicated, like, riff on the melodies look easy, even though it sounds gorgeous.
She would have also gone down, like, and circled the crowd too, working them up a little bit.
Ooh. Yeah, so you get into, like, the second verse or whatever, you step off the stage and you're, like, walking through it. And everyone in this room is just hanging on like, being as close to you as they can and just like listening as intently as you can. Like you kind of like look over back to where the tavern keeper is behind the bar, and they are also just like they've put down like the glasses. They're ignoring like anyone, like the door, anyone who might come in. They are also just completely focused on you. And it's gorgeous. It's surprisingly good. It's like capital A art. And there's a moment when you stop, and it's absolutely silent still as everyone kind of takes that first breath of like coming back to themselves, like after you've been diving into something really good. And then the room just explodes in like cheering and applause, and like people are like calling out to you, being like, the purple loot, play another one. Like everyone is just extremely like people start sending food like over to your table where they saw that you were sitting before.
Success.
So you end up with like pretty much a little banquet as various different people have sent different dishes to the table. Yeah. They're asking for an encore if you're willing to play it.
Sure. She'll give it to him. She's a performer at heart, y'all.
Do you want to be blessed?
She's not going to need to roll it again. She got a
okay.
natural 20. Like she's... anytime she comes to the Rock Bunk Tavern, she's going to immediately have like a home and a great time performing here.
Let's
Well done.
everybody's here.
Back at the table, you guys just heard for the first time Miri do quite possibly the best musical performance you've ever heard in your lives. And that includes you, Ardris, and all of the wonderful music you've gone to before.
Better
Even
than
you,
that.
Ardris.
Better than that elvish freaking court music you listen to all the time.
You roasted the court music though.
You sung an elvish song. It's awesome. The minor illusion will continue as well. Ardris is very impressed with the music, but he's very, very much insisting that we do not need any food. We are not poor. We are in good shape. It's fine. But yeah, he's very impressed with me. Very impressed. He gives her a standing ovation.
Aw, thanks.
By the time she makes it back from finishing performing, like I said, the table is full of food. The tavern keeper comes over and is like, we would love to like just put you up for the night if you want to perform a couple nights in a row. Like, I'm pretty sure this would be phenomenal.
She kind of just like looks at the group real quick. It's like, we should be in that for a couple days, I think.
Otis is just staring at Miri with his mouth hanging open. For once, he is not concentrating on the food.
Uh-oh.
Because it's very good food.
I've been feeling
Cullen gives a thumbs up and says, sounds good to me, because that will secretly allow him more time to work on his project.
Sneaky all the time.
A few days sounds like it would be fine. Enjoy yourself. Mm-hmm. You have clearly earned it.
Okay. I'm really sweaty right now.
Otis going to cast prestidigitation on Miri.
That is the most last spell in this entire game. And it's
Can we just-
cast today.
Can we acknowledge what heavy lifting prestidigitation is doing?
I would never look at it the same way ever again.
What's even better?
Prestidigitation bench presses like 300 pounds.
What's even better? Miri has prestidigitation, but everybody just keeps casting on her.
Yeah, eventually you just forget the cantrip because you're never allowed to perform it. So it's just like, oh yeah, I used to be able to do that. Oh, wonderful.
You know,
Well,
Otis
they
is
get you
going
set
to.
up with it's like a room, like a sort of like a dormitory style room, in which there are 4, like the 2 bunk beds basically on the inside, and then like a table, a basin for like washing up and everything. It's fairly plain. I mean, it's not like somewhere really ornate, but considering you've slept on the ground a lot lately, these beds probably look really nice.
Well, shall we get some rest and see what we can find out in the morning?
Think rest is good.
You know what up? Yeah.
I need to escape. They're trying to give me like these weird little pies.
Are they the same type of pies that Granted could not pronounce? Before you kind of leave the main room, can I just get a quick perception check from the party?
Am I allowed to add my racial ability to that?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I expect all my good energy to fail at this moment.
I rolled
19.
Not terrible.
I rolled 19 for 25.
Oh boy. Let's see.
11.
14 plus 8. 22.
12.
25, 19, 12, and 11. Gotcha. Excellent all around. As you're kind of getting set up, like you're figuring out where you are kind of in relation to the rest of the city. Your room has a nice little window that kind of looks out on the rest of like the Travell area, so you can kind of see what's going on. It has like your room has locks. You feel fairly secure in this. Before you leave the main floor, one very interesting thing happens. And I think, Otis, you spot it, but I don't think you necessarily understand why it could be important. Kellen, you see it, and Micah, you see it. For just a moment, as you are packing up all of the rest of the food that is still on the table so you can take it up to the room, and you're trying to like kind of push your way through adoring crowds who just want one more song, please, just one more. You kind of glance over towards there's like these large there's a large window back on the side of the wall where the door is, and for just a moment in the dark, you would swear that there was a blue dragonborn watching you.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think Micah will quickly or head outside when they notice, like, wait, and then they're gone.
Wait, kid, buddy system.
What has happened? Where is he going?
We saw a blue dragonborn or whatever. And Otis is following behind Micah as he says it.
Why do they care about a blue?
I think they are remembering Honinko. Is Miri staying behind or is Miri following?
She would have followed.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kellen will go too.
You
then.
would have followed.
Okay, so it sounds like the entire party, mid like gathering up their stuff, is like, oh no, wait, we gotta go investigate this. Dash out the door because you got a 25. I'm going to say that you catch just as you're getting out, like the sight of this dragonborn turning a corner, kind of, or just like a block down from where you are, and you begin to run to try to catch up to them. Athletics check, please, for the party to see if any of you managed to overtake them.
Boy.
Acrobat.
I would like to use
Like an acrobat.
the Misty Step to get 30 feet closer. and then keep running.
Otis actually got an 18.
Acrobatics.
Tell me how you're going to use acrobatics. Tell me how that makes you faster forward.
You know how have you ever played any of those video games where you can like run through the crowd and like jump over things?
Or you can just jump. Yeah, okay.
I never said doing that.
Fair enough. That's
Can't fly.
That's a reason. Go
Just
for it.
fly. No, I just cast fly. and I just
yeah.
fly after.
What's your fly speed?
It has to be 40,
What's your fly speed? 40?
No, 60.
Okay.
60 feet.
60.
Yeah, I just
Wow.
fly. No, I don't need to make this complicated. I just fly. It's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
For the other three of you, did any of you get above a 15?
Oh,
I
Mike
rolled an 18.
Micah is using Misty Step and just constantly teleported.
Okay, go ahead and give me an athletics check on top
Oh
of it.
no.
Okay.
Poor rabbit.
Oh,
You do have adoring people following you now,
Yeah.
being like, "Oh, where are you going? We will come with you."
Oh God.
perfect. Well, thank you for that advantage, because that is. Oh, it's athletics, right? So it'll be an 18.
Let's go.
Very nice. Yeah, so with Fly and Misty Step, and then on top of that, good athletics rolls from... Sorry, Kellen, what did you get? Was it 18?
On athletics or on perception?
Athletics.
On athletics, I got a 4.
Oh,
You too.
our wizards are in the 4s. Gotcha. Okay, you guys don't catch up. That tracks. That tracks. You and Mary are just like hanging out. Eventually, like, wait. But the rest of you, like, you're making decent pace. I'll say because you're flying, you also get the advantage of like an aerial view. You're able to, where you would have lost this person, see that they duck into an alley. This alley's kind of covered with various tarps because of like the rain. It's kind of trying to divert the water from what is inside of this alley. So you can't really see into the alley from above, but you can still you can fly off the ground through this. It's not like it's low that you'd have to go back to walking. You just have to go in.
He's going to keep his wand close, fully prepared for this to be some sort of ambush and not land, but cover in.
Yeah, sure. Micah, how many times can you do Misty Step?
So it's a level 2 spell. So I have 3 spell slots. So I used 2. So I can use 1, and then if I need to, I can always use sorcery points to burn more.
How many spell slots do you want to use?
As many as it takes to reach her. Because Micah is really determined to figure out what is happening there.
Otis, make me another athletics check, please.
On it. One guy who's trying to do it honest. That's a 16. But naturally rolled a 15, got a 16 plus
Hey.
1.
I mean, you're doing a pretty good job keeping pace with the two people who are definitely cheating at life. So you guys, I guess, end up going into this alleyway. And as you do, it's significantly darker here. But thankfully, you all have dark vision, so you're doing pretty good. You get to it, and you realize that at the end of this is a door. And it is closed, and there's no one in the alley.
Mike,
Have the others caught up to me yet?
You, Micah, and Otis are there. Kellen and Mary are just a little bit behind.
So why exactly are we searching for this individual?
Micah would knock on the doors. Nico, is that you? That it? Micah is okay. Open, please. Open. Are you there? Please.
I'll say about this time, Kellen and Mary, you have made it down the alley so that you're all together.
Are the fans there as well? Is there just a mob?
No, you've managed.
Bob came with us.
The crowd.
He's like, hey
You managed to
guys.
lose them through the crowd. Is this performance art? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Make another perception check.
Everybody?
Party?
Yeah. Get in on it. You're all here.
Okay.
Adding my ability to that as well.
Do I get advantage because I'm flying?
It's 17. Okay.
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
12.
Oh no. 22.
12
That's
is
a
not that
natural
bad for
one.
me. That's an 11. Like 12 is pretty good for Cullen.
10.
15.
Ouch. Miri, you were the only one who hears. There does appear to be movement on the other side of this door. I think Micah is a little bit too intent on knocking that he's like kind of making too much noise to hear it themselves, and everyone else is just kind of like caught up in the moment. But you can tell someone's there.
Micah.
Miri.
I will say my own name.
Miri.
Micah, hey, it's okay.
But
Nicholas,
she was back. And she was back.
Take a breath, Micah. 1 second. I hear what you're saying in there, but I need you to be calm for 1 second.
Micah, do you want me to do crime?
I
was going to be the next thing, but Keller.
I would strongly suggest you don't do that. The Emperor is not exactly known for mercy.
Miri will just take like her own thief stools out of her own pocket and hand them to Kellen.
I have parchment. We could leave them in missive.
That's much more reasonable.
I can hear somebody behind there.
Yes, but there are
I know, but
probably
Argus is right.
thousands. There are probably thousands of blue dragonborn in this area alone.
Is this not where you saw the blue dragonborn?
I doubt there are thousands of blue dragonborn that have an interest in us. Although, in fairness, Miri was playing quite well. It could have just been a fan, I suppose.
Yes, there could have also been interest in who the new noble who had arrived in the city was. I feel as if chasing them through the city was probably not the most effective way of gathering.
Helen will begin to scrawl a missive.
All of you hear a bit of a bang, like something hitting the wall on the interior of this door, and more noise now.
Ooh,
It doesn't seem to be going farther away. It doesn't sound like somebody is traveling further into like this building. But there's just like some sort of reaction.
It sounds like
Alright.
someone's barricading the door.
I think you have just enough time to think that before the door swings open.
I was
And
so
as it
close
does-
to using the ring of message.
And as it does, you see a heavily scarred, very exhausted Haninko
It is on
who looks out, looks at Micah and says, Awen, you can't be here. And that's where we're going to stop today's episode.
You said Awen?
Awen, Hoobst, Aaron.
You can't do that.
That's actually illegal.
You cannot do this.
Hey, hey, if you want to keep playing, I'm trying to respect sleep schedules. If you want to keep playing, let's go. Don't blame me. Don't blame me.
I want to keep playing, but in fairness, that's what I would have done.
Respect the cliffhanger. Respect the cliffhanger. Damn, you did it. Damn. Once again, thank you all so much for coming by to the stream. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Hunters Entertainment, for the huge raid, melee damage, and the bear pin in chat. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoy what you saw here. If you like what you see and you would like to talk about the campaign, please feel free to join us at our Discord. We have a section for spoilers as well as for non-spoilers. And so we definitely are interested to hear you're all interested in the campaign. Let's see, talk about the characters and what theories you may have, such as who is Awen? I have no idea. With that said, so we're going to, of course, raid the Bronze Girl, who's currently playing D&D at the moment. Feel free to join us this Saturday for Lords of Faerun, where we're going to have a special guest. I cannot wait to announce that tomorrow. And then feel free to join us next week for episode 7 of Rivenwood Academy. Farewell for now.
All right, y'all.
His face is itchy.